back to another fantastic episode of MUCDICH Gaming. So in today's episode, this is episode 6 day 6 I guess, of the Days Until MUCDICH Gives Me Every Single Lantern for Free series. This episode will be covering, again, a mini-series that's going on in my series, the I'm Him series, because I'm still, and I mean this is probably a week later when I'm recording this, and it'll probably be a little bit longer once this is actually edited and done. I'm so shocked as to how I was able to do all of this in one night with no deaths. So this will cover, Control Chapter 4, Nightmare. And I did it first attempt. No deaths. I was shocked by it. So, yeah, I really hope you enjoy. And again, I mentioned this in my past video, but if you didn't see that, there will not be any voiceover in the video. I don't know if that's a disappointing thing or a good thing or whatever. I was not anticipating this becoming a video. I was just playing for fun. I was not trying to make this a video. So, yeah, I really hope you enjoy, and let's jump right on into that. Hey editor noobs here. I just figured that since this part is pretty boring and there's no talking whatsoever, and I'm not actually going to go get the keys, I might as well just tell you where all of them are, as to not be a misleading person. I mean, that's what this channel is all about. I want to be able to help my viewers get through these levels easier. So you saw where I got the first key. The second key is to the left in the door, through the garage, all the way on the outside on top of a rock. I don't know if that helps, but yeah. This part here, I feel like is pretty important for me to explain, since it kind of just looks like I'm being a weirdo. These mannequins move, and you have to keep your eyes on them. It's just the classic, I think it's called the angel trope in horror video games. Don't fact check me on that. But yeah, they move if you're not looking at them, so that's why I'm doing this weird thing. And you definitely should. I mean, these guys will catch you lacking. Alright, so in this part of the video, you move on to the school you visited in Chapter 1, if you've ever played the game. If not, that's completely fine. Where you make your way to this classroom, and you have to find 13 of Control's butterflies. I don't find all the locations, but I will list them as I'm going through that level. Alrighty, so for this part, this is actually this is definitely the easiest part of the trial that contains a monster, because its path is so easy. So there's a butterfly here on the bench. The butterflies spawn in certain lockers. Not lockers. They do spawn in lockers, sorry. That's not what I meant though. There's a guaranteed spawn in every single place, like, sorry, I didn't describe that well. So in Jealousy, the stuff will move around, but in Control it won't. Everything has a designated spawn place, and it'll spawn there 100% of the time. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the entity's, I don't know what to call it, cycle. I mean, that's always what I call it. I'm waiting for their cycle to run through so that I know where they are, so that I know it's safe to keep going out. So yeah, the keys and the butterflies always spawn in the same place, so remember that, that's good to know. Some spawn in classrooms, some spawn on benches, some spawn in lockers. I think there's only 2 in lockers, and I think they're both upstairs. I'm not sure, I didn't get all of them. My team definitely helped me a lot on this one. Whenever that scraping noise happens, that's how you know that there's cycles going. In Control, it's really hard to figure out whether that's upstairs or downstairs. I just took a guess at it and figured it was probably upstairs because my heart wasn't beating. You know the entities are close by in Control whenever your heart starts beating rapidly, that's why. So yeah, beside that, I think that's all the tips I can give you. Just watch my playthrough and see if you can spot all the butterflies that I get, if that helps, sorry. One more thing that I forgot to mention, its cycle is that it goes, the downstairs, it goes through the middle right, left to right like a T, then it goes upstairs and it goes around in a circle. I hope that helps. In my opinion, this is a really, really good vantage spot to see whether the entity is going up or is about to go upstairs. I mean, trust my word if you want. We all know what happened with the Krampus incident and me trusting that table, but you know, whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. I think it's a good spot. And now for the next part, it's just a quick little easy puzzle. I'm also probably going to speed this one up just because it's pretty easy. The reason I turned back here is because I forgot the code, which was a mistake on my part. By the way, the code is always 2573, if that helps. so this part is the samurai part. This is probably the most stressful part of the trial. Well, I don't know, really not. Like, I didn't get stressed out during this part because I know his exact path. There are 6 armor pieces you need to burn, and I hard carried this part because I think my teammates died or something. I know one of them stayed alive, at least one, but I hard carried. Anyway, he has a pattern that is basically just going around the entire map in a circle. I do not have the map present. I'm afraid you're probably going to have to search that on a web browser. I don't think I have the editing skills to make that pop up on screen. I don't know, maybe I'll do. We'll see some editing magic. But, as you can see, he just passed right in front of me. He passes in front of you once and then circles around again and does it again. So that's why I go and grab it, because that was the second time he circles around. I'll see him dead ahead. That's why I wait here. I didn't spot it. Now that I'm rewatching it back, I might have when I was playing. I'm sorry. So I go ahead and burn that one right off the bat. And there are 6 others. 3 in the front-ish area, which is where I currently am. I believe I go to all 6 spots. But as you can see, Control's butterflies are fluttering around the armor pieces. So if you ever are, like, just cannot find them, just look for the butterflies. Also, this part also takes a really long time. I don't think I'm going to speed it up because this part is very important. So I hope you don't get bored, and I'm sorry if you do. So I wait here for an ungodly amount of time because Samurai is supposed to come up and check and turn back just like he did. And so I grab the other 2 pieces of armor, right? But usually he does that twice in a decently fast manner, so it doesn't take forever, right? But no. I'm pretty sure my teammates were getting chased by him or something because I wait in this bush for so long. So I am going to actually cut this part. I'm not even going to fast forward it because it's not worth watching. It will be in the unedited version if you want to see me wait in a bush, but I don't know why you would want to do that. Also, I'm sure that seemed like it didn't take a long time, but that took 2 minutes. Like, maybe it just sounds like I'm being impatient, but 2 minutes is a long time for a monster cycle. Also, I'm being very careful around these corners because Samurai circles around and comes back, so that's why I'm listening. So yeah, that was pretty much the samurai part. I showed you 5 locations, but the 6th was from where I was just facing going towards the fire. You could see the butterflies swirling around. That wasn't a great description, but I hope that helps if you don't know where the 6th was. Okay, this final part is definitely stressful and very confusing. So I like to play with my headphones on very high volume because it allows me to know where the monsters are, and it's a really good strategy in my opinion. The problem with this map and this monster in specific, you can pretty much hear the monsters hum in tune at all times. Also, oh my god, my ears. Sorry. You can pretty much hear the monsters hum at all times, like depending if you're close to the middle of the map. So yeah, you really have to hear for the thud of their feet and your heartbeat, but I don't know, I think that's too late, because by the time you're spotted, you're pretty much screwed, because you either have to lose her on a corner, go to the only safe zone on the map, because you can't go in boxes, you can only hide in the boxes. So yeah. Anyway, for this part, there's 3 hearts, and I got absolutely carried on this part because I was being a little wuss and hiding a box the whole time. So I definitely got hard carried, but spoiler alert, 2 of my teammates died, and I think, yeah, you can literally hear her coming. So right away, just watch this. So yeah, now you know the teammates I've been dealing with all match. So anyways, now that she's actually gone, I decide to actually go out and look for some hearts. So I believe there's 12 possible places the hearts can be, which isn't that big of a deal considering there's only 3 hearts. This is kind of the area where I start to wuss out because I hide in the box most of the time because I'm in the center and I forgot that my volume was so loud, so I was like, dude, why is she always glazing me? So yeah, no. I go in this room, right here, yeah. And I look and there's no heart, and I think I hear her. She wasn't really that close by because her hums are just so loud. What you really, really need to worry about is when you can hear her footsteps or when your heartbeat gets really, really loud. Or when her humming is extremely loud. But, like, yeah, the footsteps are what you gotta watch out for. So she comes in this room and she checks it out. So this was a reasonable hiding place. So that giant health bar means one of my teammates managed to get a heart, which I gotta say is pretty impressive because that was pretty fast. I pretty much stay in this box for the rest of the time. I do a little bit, but I'm probably just gonna skip because I don't want this video to be too long and boring. Okay, so it's just me and another girl, it seems like, because all of my other teammates died in the previous part. So yeah, we're now at the boss fight. This is pretty much a big chunk of the video. I mean, this boss fight is nowhere near as hard as Enzukai in Jealousy Chapter 4, but oh my god, does it take a long time. It's just you don't get that many chances to attack, and if you try to attack her while she's attacking, well, you get attacked. Also, there's heals here, which is really nice. I really wish they would keep heals in more game modes. So yeah, whenever she does that roar, that's the only time you can go and attack. So yeah, I actually, now that I'm watching it back, I wasn't that useless for the heart part, considering the fact that, yes, I was in the box, but they did that in about a minute and 15 seconds. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. So yeah, I'm definitely going to speed up the boss fight because this takes a long time. So I figured while I'm fast forwarding through the boss fight, I might as well give some tips. Basically, only attack her when she roars, and you have plenty of sprint. It is a pretty small area, so just move in kind of a circle formation like I do. You see how I'm always dodging to the left and to the right and just going around in circles. When she's flashing white like that, it means she's invincible. It's because she gets to like one of these stages. It's really not that big of a deal, especially because there's heals and the heals respawn over time. That's why I'm using them pretty much as soon as I get damaged, is because the heals will always respawn. I think after like a minute long cooldown. So there's no point in like waiting till you're like half HP and risk dying just to heal. I do heal pretty unnecessarily, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's terrible or anything. Also, once they get down to half HP, they start like going a lot faster and doing a lot more damage and whatnot, so you definitely have to also be careful of that. Also, this clip was 15 minutes long before I edited it. That actually doesn't seem too bad because it was 30 minutes the first time I ever did this trial, which means I cut that down in half, which is pretty impressive. Speaking of which, this is my second time ever beating the trial. The previous time, I think, was when I won. I mean, obviously I played normal mode and whatnot in between then. But yeah, I was very impressed. I don't think you guys understand how like crazy this was for me. Because I'm pretty good at this game. Like, I'm not afraid to say that. I'm pretty good at this game. I was so shocked when I beat Jealousy Chapter 4 Nightmare and Control Chapter 4 Nightmare back to back, both first try with 0 deaths. I was so shocked. I will admit, on Control Chapter 4, sorry, not Control, on Jealousy Chapter 4, I did get a lot of help from my teammates. On this, I really didn't. But you do have to admit, I clutched for Jealousy Chapter 4 Nightmare. My team wouldn't have won if I didn't win that. Sorry, that sounded pretty selfish. Anyways, this boss fight is pretty fun, actually. It's nowhere near as stressful as the Enzukai boss fight, just simply because, I mean, you don't get damaged that easily. It's a lot harder to die and a lot easier to avoid. So overall, I definitely like this boss fight a little bit more. Also, I turned the volume way down, if you couldn't tell, because you could probably hear like the squeaky boss fight music. I don't know, I just thought that sounded weird with my background music going, and I think it just overlaps kind of odd. So, yeah. So anyways, we beat the trial. We decided to go with the good ending, which I was very happy with, because I didn't really want to get the bad ending on Jealousy Chapter 4, but like, my whole team voted for it, so I figured, yeah, you know, why not? So yeah, I had just beat, we don't talk about that part. I had just beaten Jealousy Chapter 4 Nightmare and Control Chapter 4 Nightmare back to back. Like, my hands were shaking so much. I was in so much disbelief, and I still, to this day, have no clue how I did this. You saw the name of the video. I think I might be. Anyways, we successfully beat Control Chapter 4 Nightmare. So yeah, pretty fun actually. Well, thank you so much for watching. Again, I cannot believe I was actually able to do this. I'm so proud of myself, and I really want to thank you guys. You guys have been awesome, very supportive. So far, the previous video I just posted got almost 50 views, which is huge for my channel. So I just want to say I cannot thank you guys enough for your support and everybody who comments. And until next time, when I will be playing Control Chapter 3 Nightmare, this is Noobs Unite Gaming, signing out.